Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal institution. Monster on the mic, I feel like hip-hop then adopted me. You pussy niggas shook, you let them turn this to a mockery. I give a fuck about their recognition. I'm trying to spit the fucking truth, somebody get the message. These politics, they overstate the obvious. They shooting like Stoyakovich, it's war on every continent. Deeper than you know, I'm what you hate if you the government. Young black with heart, I put a hex on the establishment. Niggas playing patty cake and I was trying to regulate. A lot of them I emulate, but none of them I demonstrate. Hip-hop will never need a eulogy. They give us 10%, they trying to take away gratuity. Work for what you want, I learned that from fucking Aubrey. And she ain't never lied, I told her this was nothing new to me. This must be everything I'm dreaming. I wake up, my superstitions
when you want your day. You want your day at night. You want your day preferably at night. You know? That's when Dave is his daviest. You know, when the night is brightest. Think about that. That's when the Dave comes out. You know, that's when you want it. It's when you need it. It's when you got to have it. So a little bit different tonight. A little later. A little late night Dave. I had nothing. If I can be completely honest with you for a moment, we had nothing. I had no show planned. Willie Mac Wednesdays are a long thing of the past. And, you know, so it's like I kind of have a life now. I have a lot of good things going on. I'm doing all kinds of things, going to New York and all kinds of wonderful adventures. I kind of keep my Wednesdays open. I didn't fill in for Willie. I didn't bring in somebody else and keep the whole week going because I needed that extra day. And there were some other things that were happening too, some work stuff and things like that. But I digress. The whole point was to have the little bit of extra time to be able to throw some shows together. Now, today was a perfect day where, you know what, let's go ahead and throw something at the wall and see what we can cook up, right? But Rivy's sick, not feeling good, not able to go tonight. And not a whole lot that I care about, you know, not a whole lot going on. So I decided to turn it over to you guys. I was completely fine with going to Twitch and gaming and having a good old time and relaxing. And I decided to ask if you guys might have some shizzle that you might want me to do. So when you guys answered that call as loudly as you did, I had to come a running because he did. There's some really, really good questions that were asked. And most importantly, from somebody who's been around for a while, they reminded me that not everybody knows my entire story. And it's been a while since we've gone through it. So it'd be fun to kind of, at this point, especially, we're just a month away now from my 21st birthday. Or 21st. On May 21st, I'll be 40. I got completely lost there. My 21st birthday. Jesus. Yes. My 21st birthday. No, I'll turn 40 on May 21st. So it's like, this is a good opportunity to really start looking back and thinking about all the things that we've done, what we've been through, where we're going, and all that hoopla. So this is a perfect opportunity. So it's going to be good. You aren't paying attention to the end? No. The government hates me so much, and they went on strike when I was just about to file my taxes. That's all about you there, Biggie. That's the age. I am old. What can I say? Well, how you doing, Nicole? What's up there, Toxic Dome? You know he rocks the microphone. Teaching Turtles, Stormy Out, Bomb Bond, Gaming Witch, Hell Hot New Fury, Perkles, all kinds of good people. Miss Stripes, Evan Bourne, John Bon Zombie. Good people. Good people. So let's go through some of the questions that we got asked. We did get asked some questions. People did ask some questions. And I was happy that we did get a couple of good ones. Coke or Pepsi, this is an easy one. Coke or Pepsi, the Who or the Stones, the Ruffles or Lay's, red or black licorice. This is from Michelle Lopez at Faxi My Love. We're also live in the Discord as well if you have any calls, questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, and whatever else. We're also rocking the bong tonight, every dono, do a bigger rip, all that type of good stuff. And we got Pokemon cards. We're doing it all. We're going to have full entertainment Dave tonight. All the things that you could possibly want that are copious all over your face, neck, and chest. Honestly, Pepsi's probably the better tasting product, but I've always been a Coke guy. Don't know why. And I like Blue. You would think I'd be a Pepsi guy. Who are the Stones? Stones. I don't mind the Who, but I'm a Stones guy. I'm not even a Stones guy, but I've seen the Stones live, and the Rolling Stones are the fucking Rolling Stones. And everybody else is kind of everybody else. And I'm not even saying that the Rolling Stones they're the greatest band to ever live, but they're definitely the Rolling Stones. Legendary status amongst legends. You know, it said they came from an era of hard hitters, and they're the ones standing. You know, so that's Ruffles or Lays? Lays, man. Old school. Fuck all that Ruffle shit. We don't need the ridges. Who needs a ridge? Fuck a ridge. Even though ridges are good. And red licorice. And don't even ask that question ever again. That's a disgusting question to ask. I don't like it. So those are all easy ones. How you doing? Have you ever had your prostate tickled? Only by you. Flying Pussyfoot. My man is so old he forgot his age. No, I forgot. Yeah, well, I guess so. Lay's Barbecue and Black No John Bon. Pepsi's fine. But look, whatever I drink, it's got to be a diet version, like Pepsi Zero, Coke Zero, whatever. I got to have that. But let me tell you, we shouldn't be drinking this shit. We shouldn't be drinking this shit. It's bad for you. Listen, I've told this story before, and this is going to be a night of retelling of stories because we have people who want to hear the whole Dead on Dave story. So here's a very pre-Dead on Dave story. Hey, still to this day, my favorite GIF. Of all the GIFs that we've used, that's my favorite one. Randy Johnson exploding that bird. It's just the greatest thing. Thank you so much. Lovebirds, old school. Kim, what's up, baby? That's an old school name right there. Hat change number 1. Thank you so much. Let's get it going. We'll start that with a nice little vape rip. So when my first couple of jobs, like my first job ever was at a pet store at like 13 years old, 12 years old, something like that. I had little knicky-knack jobs before that, like ticky-tack jobs, you know, doing stuff around apartment complexes for old ladies, that type of shit. But my first like real job, taxes, all that type of shit, I worked at a couple of grocery stores. And at Albertsons, excuse me, I knocked over this this fucking lady knocked over this big jar of the thickest syrup you've ever seen in your life. And I tried to stupidly clean it up with paper towels and a mop. I got chastised and told how stupid I was because the manager took a fucking bottle of Coke, poured it on top of it, and within 5 minutes I was able to wipe everything up. I mean, it's incredible what Coke eats through. Coke will eat through anything. Imagine what it's doing to our stomachs. We're all going to die. I mean, if we're lucky, we'll die. Those of us who aren't lucky will be the next stage of evolution. It's not good. It's not good. I used to drink Pepsi, then I switched to Mountain Dew. No, now I'm trying to get off soda. You got to go water. Water is the way to go, especially if you're trying to lose weight and be healthier. Water, water, water everywhere. Got to have it. Can you skip to the part where you started working in the gay bar as a bouncer? Can you skip the part where I put you on timeout? You're getting a little fresh. Getting a little fresh. There's really even no reason to time him out. I'm just doing it. Just think about your life choices. It's just fun because we don't do it enough anymore. I don't exert and abuse my power enough. All right. Let's see what other questions that we have. Bull, do you think we can come up with quality questions? Come on. Big E. There's Big E in the chat. Was there any culture shock coming back to the States after being in Germany for such a long time? Oh, my God, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's just kind of a cheeky question by Big E because Big E has been around a long time, and he was definitely around when I came back to the States. I have to believe that. I think he was. Yeah, he's been around for so long. When I came back, and this will be part of all the stories that we have. We got a lot of stories that we're going to have tonight because we're going to go back and basically tell the entire tale of Dead on Dave. But here's one skip to 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was now. Good God. When I came back to the States, it was an interesting fucking experience because it wasn't something that was completely planned, but planned, you know? And I came back with nothing. You know, I didn't know if I was ever going to get back to Germany. I had a whole lot of issues with my my passport. I had to get a new passport. I had all this shit a lot of uncertainty. So when I came to Dover, Delaware. I flew on a MAC flight because I'm a retiree, a medically retired military vet. And that gives me Cat 6 status to fly military available seating on MAC flights, military planes. Basically big floating tubes, although they do have a couple of red eyes that are commercial airliners that fly back and forth from Germany to Baltimore, Maryland. This is true to this day. But when Corona happened, they shut down all category like 4 and above, 4 and latter, and 6s are never getting back on as far as I understand. But it really sucked when they shut that down, you know. But before they did, they dropped me off there in Dover, Delaware, because look, when you're waiting, I waited for 11 days for a flight once out of Germany, waiting for the free flights. 11 days I waited. You never pass up a flight. You go wherever it goes. If it's going to California, you go to California. You go wherever the fuck you can. And the only flight that was going out after 11 days of waiting was Dover, Delaware. I had to get to New Britain, Connecticut. Dover, Delaware was a long ways away from New Britain, Connecticut. And the biggest problem with going to Dover, Delaware was it's Dover fucking Delaware. Have you ever been to Dover, Delaware? There's nothing but poor. There's nothing but poverty. Just space and poverty. That is one of the poorest, most desolate places I've ever fucking seen in my life. Like, honestly, I'm not even trying to shit on Delaware. I feel bad for people who live in Delaware. Like, why do you live there? It's fucking horrible. This is the poorest place I'm telling you, you think Ohio is bad? You think Ohio is bad? Dover doesn't get the fucking hate that Ohio gets because everybody is smart enough to get out of there. When was the last person you knew someone from Delaware? When was the last person you knew? I grew up in Delaware. They don't tell you. They don't tell you. Delaware. Fucking Delaware. It's the worst state. So it's an absolute armpit. Absolutely, Melissa. Absolutely. What's up, Teammaker baby? My mom's ex-husband was stationed in Dover. She said it was awful. Fucking terrible. Terrible. The posts aren't even that bad. But I digress. I get stuck in Dover, Delaware, right? I could have taken a chance. So here's a fun story. We flew over on, it was me and this whole group of people. We flew over on this was I think it's just a C-130. So we were flying over in no. It was a C5. It was a C-5. Big tube, double-decker tube, right? Floating tube, you can lay down in these. They're not so bad. You just get a sleeping bag. If you don't have your sleeping bag, you're probably boned. But I had my sleeping bag because I'm smart and baller. And so I heard all kinds of people talking. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had $125 in my pocket. So I didn't know anybody. I didn't have a phone that was activated. I literally was stranded. So Gun Cannon, Jade Rabbit, a few other people, they helped me out. They made sure that I got what I needed. They got me a room for the night and stuff like that. Because I had an opportunity. There were 2 women. They were not service active members. They had Cat 6 status. I just don't know how. I think they may have been spouses. I'm not sure. But they were like, why don't you just come with us? Just come with us we're going to Philadelphia. We're getting a taxi and you can come and split the taxi and then we'll get you on a plane. We're like, we know how to do this. We know how to work all the airlines. We'll get you a super cheap flight. Just have your paperwork. We'll get you like on there. I'm like, ladies, I don't know if I should trust you. One, you might be wrong. And what if I get stuck in Philadelphia? Being stuck in Dover, Delaware is bad for one reason of not having anything by you. But being stuck in Philadelphia looking the way I look with no money and no fucking idea where I am, that was not a chance I was willing to take. I was like, no, and no again. 3 no's in a row. Not happening. So I said, fuck that. And I'll roll the dice in Dover, Delaware. So I get a hotel room. And the next day I find the only bus going out was a Greyhound at a fucking 7-Eleven, and it was like a 24-hour bus ride from Dover to New Britain. It was a 24-hour bus ride. It was gonna take me 24 hours to do the whole trip, because I get to we take the bus. The bus takes forever to get to New York. That took like literally 16 hours. Then I gotta wait at Port Authority, to take a bus to New Britain. I had to wait all fucking night for that. It was just a crazy experience. And seeing, I had no experience back in the States. I wasn't going into restaurants. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anybody. My etiquette was all wrong, not only because I lived in Germany for so long, but because I was also hurt. So I'm going to stop that story there, because I want to go back into the beginning of it in a moment there, Biggie. So thank you for the question on Twitter. I do appreciate that. My coworker lived in Delaware before moving here. Is bad. I guarantee you. I was going to say they have a cryptid, but it doesn't even have. But yeah, there's a ton of things that have a culture shocked me since, I've been back. It's crazy. Bloody Bates, I have a question. It's random. How tall is DEADONDAVE? I'm 5'10", 5'11"-ish on a good day. I was 5'11" in the military, but I got fat and hurt, and now I'm 5'10". So 5'10". What's your very best high experience? The Wicked Pickle. Yo, Wicked Pickle. Strain, when, how, then what happened? The whole, man, you want all of it, don't you? You want it all. That's a tough one. You know what? That's not that tough. I know my best high experience. That's easy. It was actually filmed. It was on the air. It was me, Captain Kirsch, who is old school head from the community. If you guys remember Captain Kirsch, she was awesome. Still is awesome. She's still around. She's actually she's beating the shit out of cancer as we fucking speak. Go Captain Kirsch. Go Captain Kirsch. Go Captain Kirsch. And she's done a lot of art for for my channel. She was a co-host for a while. But her and RealTalk and a bunch of other people came and visited. And RealTalk, the Metaphor Messiah, of course, the guy who you hear him every day at the theme song here. He passed away a couple years ago, unfortunately. But luckily, about 6-7 years ago, I got to meet him. 2016, I believe. How you doing, Dark Chew? What's up, Kill Sims? Good to see you. So Tommy was there too, Tommy C. His family was outside. He brought his family over to my place in Rudisheim in Germany. And RealTalk comes over, Captain Kirsch comes over, and Captain Kirsch brings the dankiest of dank from Hamburg, Germany. She's like, Hamburg weed is better than all weeds. My God. She loved talking about that Hamburg weed. And that was when I was new to the weed game. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing. It was like my third time smoking. I didn't know shit. So RealTalk comes in, and we instantly gel, because that's my brother. We'd known each other for a long time at that point. And when we met, it was instant brotherhood, man. That's my guy. I miss him to this day. I love him so much. And we knew we were going to get high. And Tommy did not. So it was me, Captain Kirsch, and RealTalk Metaphor Messiah hotbox in my living room while everybody else was outside in the patio area pretending that we're not doing what we're doing. And Tommy comes in at one point. And he's disappointed dad syndrome almost. The whole thing was so fucking funny. And it wasn't that bad. Tommy wasn't even being a downer or anything, but it's just us high as fuck, me, Kirsch, and RealTalk sitting on my couch high as fuck. Tommy walking in and being like, guys, I can't do this, guys. I can't do this, guys. My wife's out there, guys. I can't do this. We're just dying laughing. Dying fucking laughing. RealTalk is laughing about as loud as I've ever heard him laugh, which if you remember RealTalk's laugh, it's one of the most loud, crazy, infectious laughs you'll ever hear. And it was just a great time. And I've had some amazing high experiences. I've gotten to smoke some really good stuff with some really interesting people. I've gotten to do dabs. I've done some really, really heavy shit, and I've had so much fun. But one of my favorite quotes, I want to say it was Chris Rock. Chris Rock had a couple of good quotes just about life and mentality and conversation. And this is one of them. I think it was him. He said, I could have a 5-star cuisine, 5-star, and it'd be just with bad conversation, horrible food. But I could have great conversation over a hot dog, and it could be one of the best meals of my life. You know what I mean? Perspective. So it was cool. Tommy got unbelievably stoned on stream a few months after that. He did. I'm going to get high with you, Dave. Me too, Dorky. It'd be so great. It'd be so incredible. Let's see what else we have there. Crazy experience you had with dealing with a customer? Oh, that's easy. I almost feel like we should go to the video for this. I almost feel like a videotape footage is what we need here. Let me see if Riveter had it in his messages easy, because I know I had him get this, but I don't know. So this was back in, God, it had to be November-ish. November? Somewhere along there. We'll do a bong rip on our next donut. We get any good donut tonight, we'll go ahead and do a big bong rip. I got my new bong and everything. We'll do a huge one for you. If I can find the video, I will absolutely play it. I know I can. I know I have it too. I don't know why I'm going the long way around. But so this was a few months ago. And no, I guess I don't have it. This was back in like November or something. And Jimmy, the boss, the owner of the shop, he leaves, and I'm there with Honda John. He's our mechanic downstairs, and it's just us two. I found it, luckily. And hold on, son of a bitch. So this guy comes in, about 6'1" dude, and he's wearing a mask, a hoodie, dark glasses, but a lot of people still dress like that. So it was like nothing to really concern myself with. I didn't really feel like I had a reason to be nervous about it. In my eyes, you know, I really didn't think anything of it, if we're being honest about it. But, you know, you always got to keep your head on a swivel and all that good shizzle. So, you know, the frustrating thing with it is it's like you're trying to help the customer. You're trying to do what you need to do, you know, make the sales and all that. But you never think anything bad is going to happen. So I'm stalling for time a little bit because I want to get this video up. So the guy comes over to the counter and he starts asking about jewelry, which, you know, no big deal. You know, you show him the jewelry, you do the thing. It's all gravy in the house. Yay. So he's going to buy the best piece of jewelry that we got. It was a 101 gram box fucking necklace. Beautiful piece. Like, honestly, $3,000 in scrap value. $3,000. We're talking big skittle. Uno momento. All right, hold on. Come on. Oh, it doesn't want to show. Give me a second. Oh, because I usually have a capture in Rivies. That's funny. There we go. That's not it. Wrong one. See, this is why I need Rivy. Where are you at? Why isn't that working? Why isn't that capturing the pop-out screen? Did I not pop it out? Oh, yeah, I didn't pop it out. Jesus. See, Rivy, where are you? Stop being sick. Stop being sick right now. There you go. So, see if I can make that bigger. There we go. It's a little bit better. So this guy comes in and he's talking, you know, everything is Gucci. No big deal. Everything's totally fine. It was definitely before January, you know. I don't have anything too concerned quite yet. And he asks to see, no, it was December. It's December 14th. That's when it was, December 14th. You can see it right there. So he asks for the necklace, and, you know, he tries it on, gives it back to me, you know. He says, okay, he pulls out the credit card. He's going to put it on his card. He goes, let me take a video. I want to show my wife. I'm like, okay, cool, no biggie. And he's using the mirror. He's using the video, the whole shebang. And I say, hey, you want a box? He goes, yeah. I'm like, great. So I go to reach down and get him a box, and he goes, hey, can you get me the other color? I'm like, yeah, no problem. And as I bend down, reach to grab for the box, he goes, thanks, sucker. And he bolts. And he fucking bolts for the door. And me, military trained. You know, I am medically retired from the military. We'll get into that story in a moment. I shouldn't be doing anything stupid. But stupid happens to me very frequently. And I bolted into action, and this is what transpired. Enjoy. So we're chopping it up. So I want you to keep an eye on the door. Okay, let me make this bigger. Keep your eye on the door. This door over in this area. You can see that door right in the middle. So I go down, and I'm on my knee, keep in mind. I'm on my knee, keep in mind. So there he goes. And there I go. I start screaming, John. He takes a little bit of diving. That's all I need. Bam! Right through the door we go. And I take the door off the hinges. There's two guys running back after. One dude's got a hammer in that fucking bag. He wanted me to drag him back in the store so we can beat him to death. Yeah, I did not think I had those type of wheels still on me. Let me tell you, chicas. And there I am. Look, I took the whole fucking door off the hinge. You could see. It was crazy. So that's been my craziest experience at Pawn Nation so far. No question. No question. So yeah, that one was insane. And it's stupid of me to do. Completely insane. Not smart. Not recommended. But hey, shit happens. What you gonna do? So that's my craziest experience that I've had there. What was the most coolest and unique piece of history you've had come into the shop or sold to pawn shop? I don't know, man. We've had a lot of video game stuff recently. Pulling that Umbreon was awesome. I've had some Roberto. By the way, I sold the Umbreon. I sold the Moonblast Umbreon Alt Art. We sold it for the shop, $600, man. We got a $600 sale out of that pull that we pulled right here. And speaking of, we got a $5 dono, didn't we? That's a pack of cards. That's a pack of cards for a $5. Let's do Scarlet and Violet. Let's get a hit right now. That's what I'm talking about. We pulled one of the best cards that you can pull currently. And it was awesome. And we went ahead and sold it. $600. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. This is just one. Yup. Yeah, he shit whipped himself. He wasn't going to get away. He had the van on the other side of the door. If he would have tried to get in that van, I would have fucked him up so bad. I would have slammed his head into the fucking van. And like not even on purpose. It's just what would have happened. I was coming at him full force. No Pokemon harm. We can make no promises. First reverse. Second reverse. And hey! What is that? Iron Treads. Look at that. Iron Treads EX. That's a nice card. See, that's what I'm talking about. We'll pull more cards tonight if we get more love. Hit that like button. Any donos, more bong rips, more hat changes, and more Pokemon packs. And probably me eating more Taco Bell. Well, we're here tonight having a good old time. Hopefully you guys are too. We're settling in, settling down, and having ourselves one for the evening. One more time. We did the Coke or Pepsi question. Are there any topics we should avoid? No, you can ask anything you want, Squanchin. Ad just answered Dave. We did the culture shock. All right. So here's the one that got the whole thing rolling tonight. Here's why you clicked on my face tonight. Here's why I made a thumbnail of all the different looks of me, because Teaching Turtles asks, do you mind sharing your story about going from military stuck in bed to Dead on Dave? I'm a new reviewer, 5 months tops, and have never got to hear your full story, just references here and there. Absolutely. I've actually been meaning to do this. We've had a few people that have asked about this. So, yeah, let's talk about it. I did meet Tommy in the Army, and I'll talk about that. We met in 2007. 2007, Tommy and I met for the first time. He visited me in the hospital with his family. So, yeah. Zion Smith, do you remember the rain? What? Rain. What? Zion Smith in the house. Okay. So to tell this tale properly, we must go back all the way to 2000. I was getting ready to graduate high school the next year. I had done very good in high school. I did a lot of sports. I was good academically. I had a lot of choices. I did get a 2-year scholarship to UNLV. I had a great girlfriend. I had all this shit going on. But I was courting the military. And I'm going to answer a question that somebody else asked as well, why I chose the Army and what other branch I may have chosen. So here's why. This is what happened. So I went to the recruiting office because I started thinking about my future. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. So my next 20 years of my life was planned out, and I didn't like it. Tale as old as time, that type of shit. So I was like, this is the time of peace. Life is good. So I'm going to join the military. I want to go to Germany. I'm going to go hang out in Germany for 3 years, get out, go to college, have the military pay for it. Yay. Let's go. So that was the plan. Didn't know what I was going to join, but right across from the high school was luckily a recruitment center. It had every branch of military in there. And I was actually thinking Navy, believe it or not. My grandfather was Navy in World War II. I was in Naval Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps in my first high school in Las Vegas. So I love the sea. I love boats in the Navy. I love the village people. I was all about it. So I planned on going to the Naval recruiter first, and then the Air Force recruiter, never the Marines, and then Army was probably the one that would get me. That's the way I looked at it more than likely. So I was going to kind of stay away from the Army for that reason. The problem is the Navy's office was in the back of the building. Literally the final door. You have to pass all the other recruitment centers, all the other recruitment doors first. And let me tell you, they do not miss an opportunity. So I go into the door. I try to walk past the first door, and all I hear is, hey, troop, 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 troop. I was like, shit. He's like, where you going, troop? I'm like, I'm just go check out the Navy. He's like, he's not there. They ain't there. I don't know if they were there or not. They ain't there. Come in. Come in here. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you real quick. Let me talk to you. So they got in there, and they put it on me real good. And they got me in the DEP program, delayed entry program that day. And they were able to do that because they promised me if I joined the delayed entry program that they were going to get me tickets to the latest big attraction that was coming to our fair city of Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Outlaws of the XFL. And I was excited because I loved football. I loved wrestling. I loved Vince McMahon. And I was like, Las Vegas is going to get a team. This is going to be amazing. So I went to every home game for the Las Vegas Outlaws from all free tickets. And in 2001, July 9th, 2001, I decided to join the United States Army. That's when I left. Let me say that date again. July 9th, 2001. So, let's see. Dave, you could have been a seaman in the Navy. Hey, I'm so excited for this stream. Hip hop, bro. That's what I'm talking about, bro. The Navy wanted me to play in the band. Nice. Should have. But Abby Blackbird. Oh, boy. Yeah, oh, boy, indeed. So, we're in there, and we actually got delayed a little bit. At the time, I went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina after MEPS in Utah. MEPS is where you go to process. Your first initial stage of processing. It's where you do your swear in and all that. And you actually go to there twice. The second time you go, there's a much different experience because you're basically getting shipped out. You're getting shipped to your training facility and all that, and you're with other people, and it's just a crazy, crazy, crazy experience. It's very insane, and I don't know how it is now, but this is how it was 20-something years ago, and it's still very vivid. You know, the bus rides, the trepidation, you know, meeting people. I actually almost hooked up with somebody. This is a true story. I don't know if I've ever told this. I met this girl, and the funny thing is this would have been a cheating situation because I was actually with somebody, and so was she. He dropped her off at MEPS, but we like really hit it off. We were going to basic, and we knew we were going to be in the same class together and everything. And she ended up coming over to my hotel room. We were watching some movies, and it was very, very close. And then we hung out on the bus the whole time. We were holding hands on the bus. We would go to church for the first couple of times together. We were always holding hands and stuff whenever we can get away with it, praying together and things, but nothing ever happened. But emotionally, we definitely helped each other get through the first few days, I think. There's no question about that. But the whole experience is fucking crazy. Like, you pick your job, you swear in, you know, they ship you down, they get you over to your training facility. And when we got there, there was actually too many people. I went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Relaxin' Jackson. And we get there, and we're told it's packed. We might be waiting. We ended up waiting a week. We had to stay outside a couple nights. It was shit. It was shiitake mushroom. So this is 18-year-old Dave. Keep in mind, I graduated high school on June 1st, and I shipped out July 9th, 2001. So we end up waiting about a week, and we finally get into our class. And, you know, the weeks are rolling by, you know. The weeks are rolling by. We're about week 5, somewhere around there at this point, week 5, week 6 of a 8-9-week course. We're going to do our first overnight live fire exercise, Nick at Night. Never forget it. I was so excited because I love shooting. And we were going to use tracer rounds. And all I fucking ever heard about was tracer rounds. And all I wanted to see was tracer rounds. You know why? Because at night, it looked like Star Wars. That's why I wanted to see tracer rounds. Like, straight the fuck up. I graduated high school from Las Vegas. Durango High School, Las Vegas, Nevada. Fucking... I wanted to see tracers because it... Laser beams. Tracers look like lasers. Pew, pew, pew. Does. To me, it does. Pew, pew. So we bus out to the location. We're going to actually march the rest of the way. And this morning, you know, September 11th, you know, everything was eerie. You know, the bus, there was no music. Yeah, everything got clicked off. It was fucking crazy. It was insanity. And the fucked up thing was, it's like everyone kind of felt something was off, but no one knew. Everyone was eerily quiet. No one was chatting. No one was talking. And like I said, the bus driver didn't even have the radio on. So we get out there and we get into like a prone position. They just have us sit, lay down. We don't really do any type of exercise, nothing. And within an hour, the buses come back and they put us back on the bus. They drive us all the way back and they take us out, but they're not yelling at us, man. They're like, they're keeping discipline and order, but everything is down. Like, everything is like, it's intense, but like there was just a different vibe. Like, something was up, you know? And we felt like something was up, but everybody was feeling this had to be a training exercise. This had to be part of the training. But they pull us into to the rooms, you know, the common areas, and for the first time, they wheel in TVs, and they show us what was going on. And it was unbelievable. And this was in South Carolina, which is not too far from everything that was going down when you really think about it. And a lot of people who were on the East Coast, this is where they ended up going. A lot of East Coasters ended up going, especially if they weren't grunts, if they weren't betting or anything like that. A lot of people ended up going to Jackson, you know. And a whole bunch of people ended up leaving and went home to New York, people who were from New York and from Pennsylvania and things like that. I think it was a total of 31 people from the unit that ended up going back. We only lost like 2. Only 2 didn't graduate because of it. Only 2 washed out. We didn't lose that many. Most people were very solidified about what was going on, and we're like, all right, hula. I think we're all going, whatever, if we're going to get fast-tracked, all this type of crazy nonsense. But, things started to calm down. We weren't sure our parents were going to come and be able to come on post. They did. Here's a story. You guys want to hear how I almost got kicked out of fucking basic training? On the last day of basic training? This is a great story. So my mother, God her devil rest her soul, they were able to come visit her and my piece of shit scum-sucking stepfather, who I hope is dead, who's probably not. He's a piece of shit, stole my mom's money, fucking piece of guy. Anyway. They come visit me for graduation. They see me graduate. But post was very restricted. We had just got off our first alert level. Like, they finally brought it down to like whatever the middle, the next one was, and they were able to open the bases a little bit. But we weren't allowed to leave. They made it very clear, do not fucking leave post. And if you do leave post, do not get fucking caught. So my parents, within 10 minutes of getting me after graduating, was like, well, let's just take you to Golden Corral. I'm like, that's off post. And they're like, yeah, but it's just off post. What's the big deal? And I'm like, okay. We go in there and it's full of fucking soldiers. Full. Why I didn't get the fuck out of there immediately, I don't know. Because who would it be? It wouldn't have been us. It wouldn't have been any other trainees. No, it was all the fucking staff. It was all of my drill sergeants. It was all of the first sergeants. It was all of the cadre. So I get immediately made. What are you doing, troop? My parents wanted to go Golden Corral. Get the fuck back on post. So I go back on post. They didn't tell me where to go. They just said go back on post. So we go back on post. We go to the PX. And I'm walking around the PX. And I had a couple of drill sergeants. And I had this female drill sergeant. She came up to about here. Drill Sergeant Monroe. This bitch hated me. This bitch fucking hated my ass. I really liked her because she was the toughest person there. I mean, she was tougher than any other drill sergeant. She was so fucking tough. She didn't care. Hua. I start seeing Drill Sergeant Monroe cutting through aisles fast as fuck. I mean, she's looking for something. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm like, I have a choice to make right here. I'm like, I know she's looking for me. So I could just go accept this, or I can try to play some games. So I start trying to weave around some aisles, and she runs right into me, and she snaps me up. Front lean and rest position in the motherfucking PX. She's got me down in the front lean and rest. I'm like, oh, shit. My parents, she locks them up. They're trying to explain to her, shut the fuck up. You're about to be prosecuted. And I'm like, when she said that, everything changed. My mom starts crying. I'm starting to freak out. And my stepdad's like, what do you mean? She's like, do you not realize what you did? Vancouver, what did you do? I'm like, well, I went off post. Were you supposed to go off post? No, Drill Sergeant. Did you go off on your own? No, Drill Sergeant. Who took you? My parents. Did you tell them not to take you? Yes. Did they take you anyway? Yes. Well, they just kidnapped a fucking soldier. And they're about to be arrested. And you're about to be fucking reclassed. You're about to be fucking sent back. You're about to be held back, and you're going to restart basic training. She marches me back. She kicks my fucking parents like out of like everywhere that she had the authority to. And she marches me back to post. Well, not, but we're on post, but she marches us back to the barracks. I'm terrified. I'm like crying, pissing, coming. I'm terrified because that's 9 weeks of work gone. And I had a hard time through basic. My knee was falling apart. I was sick as fuck. Like I barely made it. I chafed a lot. I had chafed balls. It was rough. It was literally. It was a hard time. So I was like, fuck. So Drill Sergeant Monroe, she hated me, but she also respected me because of what I made it, despite of my body failing. I made it, so she respected me. So I knew that they were putting it on. I didn't think we were going to be in any real trouble, but I knew my night was going to suck. So Drill Sergeant White, he was this big, tall country motherfucker. He comes in and he's like, and he's loving this because this guy actually did hate me and he enjoyed making my life a living hell. And this is the guy who came in. Here's a funny side story. First night of basic training. Drill sergeants like to tell bedtime stories. And this is 60 troops inside of a bay, top to bottom, ass to fucking face, boop, boop, boop. And he tells us our first bedtime story. And he goes, now, guys, I know that you're all here for different reasons. And I know you're thinking about home and all your loved ones and everything. Now I want you to take a second. I want you to think about your girl. I want you to think about the reason why you came. I want you to think about all of her features. In fact, call them out. Call out the features that you love. And people were saying, blonde-haired, brunette, green eyes, double D's, legs for days. And I want you to think about all of them. Think about that perfect woman. Think about that woman that you love so much. Think about the woman that you're here to make a future for. Think about that. Use that woman to fucking get you through this basic training. These are the dreams. These are the things that motivate us. And that woman right now is being fucked by your best friend. Good night, bitches. So that was a good time. So he finds out that I got caught. And he goes, you are stupid. We're talking about actually holding you back. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to get in your Class A's, okay, right now. You're going to go get in your Class A's because the next day we're leaving. We're getting on buses to go to our AIT, Advanced Individual Training, right? And I was going to Fort Gordon, Georgia. And when you go on your buses, all the buses are lined up, and you find your bus, you get on your bus, and you go. He goes, this was at like 9 o'clock at night. He goes, you're going to get in your fucking Class A's right now because you got to travel in your Class A's. And I was like, okay, so I go get in Class A's. And then he goes, everybody else is going pretty much to sleep tonight at 11. What you're going to be doing is you're going to clean all the toilets in every bay, on every floor. If you want to know how many it is, it's 80 fucking toilets total. 80. 8-0. And I don't know if you know this about soldiers, and this is men and women, by the way. The last night of basic training, they fuck those toilets up. So I'm in my Class A's, and I got smart about it. I know the plastic bag trick. If you ever need to unclog a toilet or clean a toilet, Class A's are your dress uniforms. Green, the really snazzy uniform, real good. Not the camo, the things you'd see at balls and stuff like that, military balls. So I take a plastic bag and I turn it inside out, put my hands in it, go inside the toilet, flip it upside down, boom, got everything. And that's how I took care of it. So all night I cleaned. I had to smell like shit. I couldn't tell you. I have no sense of smell. I was born without it. And I'm exhausted. And I worked till 5:55. 6 o'clock, the bus was leaving. At about 5 o'clock, he said, finish these fucking toilets. And in 5 minutes till, we'll let you know if you're getting on that bus. They made me sweat. I was the last person on that bus. They tortured me. They tortured everybody who was on that bus because I had to smell like the biggest fucking turd that got shit out of the nastiest fucking ass. It was a bad night. Bad day. Bad experience. So, but they let me get on, and I went to Fort Gordon, Georgia, and did training there. So, there you go. Let's see here. Yeah, so that's how I got through that. I get through advanced individual training, Fort Gordon, Georgia. I get my first duty station, by the way. Let's go ahead and do a bong rip. We did get a little dono love earlier. We're going to do more bong rips and hat changes and everything for any love that we get to the channel tonight. Feel free to support the channel if you feel like you want to, baby. Streamlabs is where you get the big ones because we're going to be doing big rips. And I might even pull out the big fucking bong tonight. I don't know. Why not? We're crazy. Do a nice little gravity bong. So like I told you, I wanted Germany. It was the whole reason why I went to the military in the first place. And one of the main reasons, shit. Disgusting. One of the main reasons why I picked the Army was because they could guarantee me Germany than anything else. Any of the other, nobody else could guarantee me Germany is what they were selling me on at the time. So, I kind of knew shit was going to be shitty, you know, because anything bad that can't happen to me will happen to me. So I get through AIT, and my buddy T-Maker, he's actually in the chat. He went to AIT with me. My buddy T-Maker, he might still be in the chat. He was in here earlier. He went to AIT with me. And I always fuck up when. So I graduated from basic in October. So we got there in October. Early October, because I was definitely there for Halloween. My brain. So we get through, and everybody starts getting their German, you know, anyone who's going to Germany, we go to one meeting to get our CONUS, you know, CONUS duty stations. And there were only 2 people who were going to the same place I was going. Everybody else got their places. And there was one duty station that everybody knew they did not want. Anywhere else in Germany was fine, but any recruiter, any drill sergeant, anyone who's been in the Army tells you the one place you don't want is bomb holder Germany. The Rock. It's a rapid deployment station that's on a fucking mountain in the southern part of Germany, or the southwest part of Germany. It's right on the French border. It fucking sucks. It's close to Trier, Germany. So we go to the meeting, and everyone's getting their stations. And I'm a V. So I'm always at the end. I'm one of the last people. And I noticed nobody's been called for bomb holder Germany yet. Nobody. And I felt that was odd. And of course, drill sergeant says, and the winner of the bomb holder sweepstakes, Vancouver. Fuck you. 2-6 infantry. Headquarters. So I ended up getting travel buddied up with someone who was going to Ramstein, Germany. And he was like, yo, and he tried to sell me on this. He goes, do you know that even though we have orders, that if you just came with me, that you just went to my place that I'm going, that they'll just get you in there? Like, the Army will do that. I almost believed that. I almost said, fuck my bus. And I found out I would have gotten in a lot of trouble had I done this. But I almost said, fuck my bus, and try to get on his bus to go to his duty station and just get stationed and hope that was going to work out. I almost did that. It would have been a very big mistake. I'm glad I did not do that. But so I get to my duty station. And of course, I get almost immediately orders to go to Iraq. But not before I met a German lady and got her pregnant. The next day I got my orders. I knew her for less than 2 months. I get my orders for Iraq the next day. So I was raised a certain way. We get married. 2 weeks to plan it. We got married. She ended up having a miscarriage while I was gone. They didn't let me go back. I ended up being there the entire 16 months, just a couple days short of 16, 15 and some change. Something around there, something like right around 15. So I come back. I didn't even know the lady. Barely knew each other. She has a nice little house to put together for us. And come back July 5th. Alicia, my daughter, who just turned 18 on April 15th, her conception date was July 11th. So the marriage ends up not working out, but I got the kid out of it. So I end up getting hurt in 2004. First deployment I end up getting hurt on. We had deployed to Iraq rather, and I end up getting hurt. I jump off of a track vehicle. I fell off of a couple of other things. I'm kind of a klutz anyway, so I fell off of a fucking diving board in Iraq. I fell off all kinds of shit. But the thing that hurt me the most was I fell off of a track vehicle wearing a lot of equipment. And when I did that, I blew out everything in my legs, my lower groin, and I hurt my back pretty bad. So essentially what I did was I gave myself double hernias on both sides, left and right, 2 hernias, multiple tears in my abdominal lining. And a hernia, all it is your intestinal tract knuckling through your abdominal lining. Just knuckling through. That's all it really is. For the inguinal hernia, at the very least, all the other ones. So I gave myself at least 4 tears. It ended up being a lot more than 4 tears, but you'll hear why. So I didn't know. I at that point I was young. I was 19, 20 years old. Hard dick, didn't give a fuck about anything. Pushed through, hard charging, ho. And I just rehabbed there, and everything was fine. I did a couple of weeks in Doha, did a little bit of R&R recovery stuff, but I pushed through. I go back in July, August. We're doing a PT test. $5 from Brienne. Streamlabs hates me. Anyways, keep it up. Thank you so much. Streamlabs hates you. That sucks. We'll do a nice little patching. Thank you for the 550 Canadian, Brian. And there's Christina Vina. I'll talk about Iraq in a second, about some of those experiences, but not, yes and no, but we'll talk about that in a moment. I'm trying to give you the clip notes to get through all the whole shebang-a-bang. Flying pussyfoot, I had a psoas muscle tear through the abdominal wall, and it took me a long time to rehab. It's no fun. So, I jumped off of a vehicle. This is what I think is what really hurt me. Had about 100 pounds of gear. I jumped flat-footed, about 9 feet distance, just blew everything out. So I'm doing a random PT test in August, and I just stopped moving during sit-ups. Stop moving. No more movement. And I'm like, I can't move. And they're like, what do you mean? I can't move. I'm in pain. It was bad. And they call an ambulance. They get the ambulance. They get it on the PT field. They pull my ass over to the hospital. This was very early, 7 o'clock in the morning. They rush me into a waiting room. There's a German family sitting 6 feet away, and I'm naked. At this point, my pants are off because I was wet and they had to see. So this doctor comes and in front of this fucking family, pulls the sheet back, whips my dick out, and my dick's just flapping. Basically, my dick was like this. Like, goddamn, I can hurt people. Doc, you got to warn these families. You can't just unleash the Goliath like that. That's not fair. These families weren't ready for this. So he immediately looks down at my abdominal area and says, "Ooh, that's hernia, yeah? Ooh, we do surgery now. And that one's not good either, but this one now. This one now." So they do the hernia surgery, and in that surgery, they did something, and we don't know what. They sewed something in, but that wasn't the bad one. I ended up struggling with hernias and other things in the abdominal area for the next couple of years. I ended up going to another hospital, training hospital in Mainz, Germany. And this was months of excruciating pain in my groin. Excruciating pain. And no one believed that anything was wrong with me. Not a fucking soul. So they start looking at everything, and this doctor, I get admitted, and he's torturing me. He doesn't think anything's wrong with me. He thinks I'm making shit up. He goes, "We're not seeing anything in CT scans." And I'm like, "Well, why don't you do an MRI?" "No, the CT scan is all you need for what you're saying is wrong." I'm like, "I think you'll see more with an MRI, but I'm not a doctor." This guy fucking hated me, made me drink the barium fluid every fucking day. Yeah, just tortured my ass. So then after a week, he's like, "Well, we need the room, and what we're going to do is exploratory surgery. Since you're so sure that there's something wrong, we're going to open you up, okay?" I'm like, "Okay, I want you to, because I know something's wrong." And he's like, "Well, I personally don't think there's anything wrong, so I want you to think very hard of what you will say after the surgery." I was like, "Okay." So I get shaved, all that, and this was actually an interesting hospital because they put me on a conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt wheeled me into one room, shave, next room, close. You know, it was fucking weird. Next room, surgery. It's fucking strange. So I get woken up, wheeled back to the room, woken up. And the doctor's standing there when I wake up. Curious, right? Interesting. And he looks at me and goes, "Well, we found 3 tears. 3 tears in your abdominal lining." I'm like, "Really? 3, huh? On the same side, the left side? Let me guess. Was it the 3 points where I was kind of telling you was hurting? And you know the red marks on my groin that I was showing you earlier? Was it in those spots?" "Well, yeah." I'm like, "You're so fucking lucky I can't sue you. You're so lucky I can't fucking sue you, buddy. Do you know?" I said this, I'm like, "Do you know how lucky you are that I can't sue you? Do you have any fucking clue that if this was in America, you would be fucked? Like fucked, and fucked? Do you have any idea how fucked you should be right now? You should not even exist, the amount of fucking that should be happening to you. You should be fucked out of existence. Fucked into oblivion. You piece of shit." So, as frustrating as it was, I felt everything was going to be better. But no. This guy had one more gift for me. When they were inside and when they were sewing me up, he sewed my primary nerve into my groin. Sewed it in, which actually isn't crazily uncommon. Parts of your nerve can easily get clipped in a surgery and that tie up. It does happen. It's not super common, but it's not uncommon. What is uncommon is for a surgeon to be so inept that they sew it all into your muscle. Into your muscle. Like, this guy had to be looping shit and So for the next 2.5 years, everything I do, wearing gear, moving up and down, I'm destroying even the process of building muscle in my abdominal core. And I was struggling with my weight, and I didn't know why. I was having problems with everything, and I didn't know why. I was losing sensation in my arm and my leg, and I didn't know why. No one believed me on shit. It was horrible. But I deploy in 2007 again. I take my second deployment in 2007 with my new unit. This is 242 out of Wiesbaden, Germany. This is the unit that I met Tommy in. Tommy and I both were in that unit. I deployed before he did. He was rear D. Then he ended up coming in a few months after, I think. And then I, very early, right after Tribute to the Troops 2007, which was in late November, I was at another PT test, and my body just stops moving. This time with extreme pain. And I couldn't even move to move. I was locked, and I didn't know why. They take me to the first hospital that's there on post. They don't really have anything. They can't get they start pumping me through full of drugs, and nothing's working. Nothing's calming me down. Nothing's bringing the pain level down. They don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. It's excruciating. So it was very frustrating. They end up sending me to Kuwait. They do some tests, but they don't have a lot of equipment. And now it's been a week, and I haven't slept. I've slept like 3 hours total. The pain's the only way that I can sleep is if they hit me with such a fucking hard amount of drugs that I just pass out. And they didn't want to keep doing that. They were pumping me full of a lot of drugs, and I was having reactions. So it was not good. So they send me back to Germany. I get medevaced, and I got lucky. So I was actually supposed to be ambulatory on this plane. I was supposed to be getting helped with a wheelchair and onto the plane. One of the nurses that was there in the unit that was transferring us onto the plane said, put him on a gurney. There's spaces left. Put him on a gurney. He can't walk. We're not going to get him up there. Just put him on the gurney, and they're going to put you on with all of the other people on the gurney. So I'm like, okay. And it was the best thing that could have happened to me. For one, I was much more comfortable than everybody else on that flight. I can guarantee you that. But second, when I got there, they took me on those gurneys, and they put me in a different place than they put everybody else. And because of that, I got seen by the head of the hospital, who was the on-call doctor. Had I gone anywhere else, I would not have been seen by this guy. And depending on how you judge the rest of this story, that could be either a good thing or a bad thing. For me, I think ultimately it was a good thing, because who knows what would have happened if this didn't happen. So this doctor, he was very smart, and he knew it was wrong. Let's do a bong rip for the Canadian money. Sorry about that. You know how I am. I'll talk for days. And he comes in, and he was like, we don't need to do an MRI. I know what's wrong with you. I'm like, oh boy. And he takes a needle out full of cortisone, and he shoves it into my groin. I mean, like, I thought he shoved his needle through my fucking back. And he goes, now get up. I can move. Everything was gone. Pain was gone. Everything. And I said, that's it? That's it? Doc, thank you. How? He goes, well, you got 40 minutes. I go, what? If you're lucky, you got 40 minutes. I go, till what? He goes, till you go back to that. I said, what? He said, I want you to go get some food. Teddy, $5. Did you enjoy it? No. Good meme. He goes, I want you to take a walk to the DFAC. It's down the hall. I want you to go get some food and come back immediately. He goes, I just want you to walk because you're going to go back to this. And I was like, okay. And he explained to me that what he did was he neutralized the central nerve that was trapped in the groin, but he had to do it a special way because the nerve was so deep in scar tissue and shit. It was just a very complicated thing, he said. He goes, but it's a one-time deal. I can't keep pumping you full of this stuff because it's going to lose effectiveness. So I think we need to do a temporary nerve block. And he goes, we're going to try some other stuff first. So they go through the whole litany. They try ablations. That's where they burn out the nerves. They tried cutting out some nerve endings. They tried everything. Injections. They like everything. And getting diodes into your body to measure pain is incredible, by the way. They can do that. They can find out what your muscles are contracting like. So if you think you can fake pain, if you think you can go, oh, there's ways that you can be found out because there are ways to test the contraction rate, I believe it's called, in your muscles. And there's things that you can fake and there's things that you can't fake. And I was registering contraction pain, like my muscles were constricting or contracting so quickly and hard, the same levels as pregnancy, like labor. So I was going through it. And they put the temporary nerve block in. Let's bong it up. We'll do more. So they put the temporary nerve block in me, and they're like, you're not deploying again. It's probably going to end your career. I'm like, okay. So you're going to go to rear D, and you're going to heal up, and then we're going to out-process you. I'm like, all right. So I go to rear D, and, the temporary nerve block has got me feeling okay. And there was a big problem of nothing getting done. Nobody wanted to do any details. Everybody was hurt. So I just started working. Something needed to be done. I volunteered because the faster everything got done, the quicker we can go home. So I was volunteering for stuff. About 2 weeks of that, they said, hey, Vancouver, you're going to go back to Iraq. I'm like, no, I'm not. He goes, yeah, you are. You're going back. We got the doc to sign off. I go, you didn't get my doctor to sign off. I know that. And they're like, well, we got a doctor. We got our doctor. We got the head of the medical here, Major Essen. She signed off. I'm like, she can't sign off. Like, I don't think this is a good idea. They're like, shut your fucking mouth. You're going in 2 weeks. Roger who? Roger Sergeant. Roger Sergeant. Roger Sergeant. So I prepare and I go back to Iraq. This was May 5th of 2008. And remember that temporary nerve block? Well, August 2008, I've been there from May to August. The motherfucking temporary nerve block stops because it's temporary. And I'm right back in the same situation. So in the same deployment, I have a distinction that I don't think many people have. I end up getting medically evacuated from Iraq to Germany for a second time in the same fucking deployment. I have to go back through the exact same steps, the exact same process, the exact same needles, everything. This time when I get back to Launchstool, Germany, that doctor's gone. The next doctor goes, we're putting a spinal cord stimulator into you immediately. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So basically they said there's no way to control your pain. Your nerves are out of control. We've not seen too many cases like this, and it looks like your nerves are degenerating. And we think some other things are happening too. But we're going to put this spinal cord stimulator in there because this way you can control your pain. So a spinal cord stimulator, what it does essentially is they put leads into your spinal column, metal leads at different points. I had 8 of them. 8. I found out 8. I didn't know that. I thought I only had 3. Turned out I had 8 implanted into my spinal column, different leads. And what this does is when you turn it on, and then there's a box that's actually here. I'll show it to you guys. I still have it in me. Check it out. It's right there. It is. See that lump? See that lump right there? That's a spinal cord stimulator box under my skin that when it worked, unfortunately it stopped working a couple years ago, it sends electronic stimulation through my body that takes the place of pain. You can't feel the pain, you can only feel the electronic stimulation. So I was like, shit. Okie dokie. They put this fucking thing in me. And then they were like, well, that's it. You're being medically retired from the United States Army. And I go through that whole process. I immediately started having other problems, weight gain, and all this other stuff. So they medically retire me at 50%. So that means I get a check for the rest of my life. It wasn't a very big check, but it was a check the rest of my life. So teaching turtles, I actually did go through the process of getting it replaced. Not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before. And you can actually watch the videos and see everything that happened because I documented all of it. Like I have this entire journey. You can actually watch my entire journey from Germany to here, everything. You can see all of it. It's all on, you can all see it on my channel. It's all here. So I went to go get it replaced because it stopped working 2 years ago. And so they do the surgery. They put a new machine in because it turns out that in 2008 when they put the machine in, Boston Scientific already had like 6 generations of spinal cord stimulators, but they put the first gen in. And it worked for 13 years before it broke. So $50,000 surgery, which they always made sure to fucking tell me. So they go ahead and they put a new machine in me. It's like the 11th gen they put in me. But they wake me up. This was supposed to be a 30-minute surgery. And they wake me up and I see that I've been out for 2 hours. I'm like, what's going on, guys? And they said, well, we don't think it's connecting right. We're getting continuity testing of only 13%, which means only 13% of the leads are transmitting electric signal, which is not good. He goes, but you should be able to feel something. You should be able to have some sort of relief. And I was like, okay, go ahead and turn it on. He goes, well, it is on. I said, no, it's not. He goes, fuck. So basically what happened was I got to backtrack a little bit. So after I got hurt, I was bedridden when I got medically retired. I was bedridden for 3 years, just about. A little over, actually. And during that time, I was literally bedridden. I left the house 12 times. I was pooping off of a couch. Like, I was going through it. I did manage to do some online college and some things like that, but I was getting taken out of classes and ambulances. I was going to try to be a history teacher. Funnily enough, I actually have enough. I got credit. I have 2 associate's degrees, unfocused. I have enough credit hours for my bachelor's, but I don't have any other prerequisites to focus it. So I might one day finish it just for shits and giggles, but it was something I was trying to do, and that's another story too, because that was only being done because of the VA, because the VA was going to pay for everything. You know, they pay for your, if you're going to school when you're out of the Army, they'll pay for your rent. You know, if you take 1 online class and 1 in-person class, they'll pay for the rent. But I ended up losing the house over the whole goddamn thing and all that stuff. It's not the machine that was faulty, Giggles. Hold on. The machine's fine. The machine's fine. So I was bedridden for all that time. I got to make sure I don't give too much here. But in 2012, that was me. I was about 470 pounds in that picture. And I had hair all the way down to my ass. I had an incredible flowing beard. But look at that. So I gained a lot of weight. And it's not good for the spine, for the leads, for all of that. And I also fell a few times. I had a lot of crap that happened. And all the things, any movement and all of that leads to scar tissue. And that scar tissue takes up space in your spinal column where the leads are. And unfortunately, they can't do anything. They can't take the leads out. They can't replace those leads. They can't put any more in. In fact, they're really worried about doing anything with my spine because of how little room there is, and it's just too much risk at my age and with everything else that I could risk a lot of damage. So, unfortunately, I'm stuck with this machine, although they did say they're going to take it out at some point. But we'll see if they do. It's still in me until they decide to take it out when they're able to. What the fuck ever. So, we'll see what happens. I'm stuck with it now. I got the new machine, but I can't use it. It just is what it is. So where were we? They medically retire me. I tried to do the college thing. We start the YouTube channel up, and the first thing I actually did was write a book. 2010, I was blogging. I was blogging a lot. I was doing those blogs, baby, Blogspot and all these type of places. And I was just getting my emotions out because I was 25 years old and my life was taken away from me. And I felt everything was unfair. And I was fat and miserable and powerless. And I had to live with my mom because we lost our fucking house in Germany. So she was over in Germany as well. And I had to stay with her for a few months. It was just, everything sucked, man. It was just a horrible experience, but it made me appreciate, it made me like stronger and all this, whatever. But one of the things that got me back into a good mindset of not wanting to eat myself to death was just writing, because I've always been a writer and I've always liked to entertain, you know. Part of the first ever television news team, news station at a high school in Nevada. Durango High School had ZTV, which I believe still exists to this day. And I was the first editor of ZTV. It was awesome. And it was. I always wanted to be an entertainer, point is. So I wrote this story, amongst other things. But the story I wrote was The Chronicles of L.J. Stevens. And after about 4 months of writing it, a publishing company approached me, Just Fiction Edition, and they asked me if I wanted to publish the book. And they said, we'll publish the book for you, but you got to finish it and you have to edit it yourself. But you send it to us and we will print your book to order. People can order your book and we will send it to them anywhere in the world. I'm like, boss, let's go. And believe it or not, that book is still available to this day on Amazon. It's The Chronicles of L.J. Stevens, Book 1, Truths and Transformations, I believe. And it's an unfinished book because the fuckers actually went and published it early. They decided it was time to go to publish. It was time to go to print. I told them it was not ready, and I just had to slap a quick ending. And it's available. It's a very short book. It's a better story than it is a book. One of my pet projects that I've always wanted to do was to bring that character alive. Since the story is kind of told in this vlog type manner, I kind of want to do that. So there's a really good chance that one day I might even create a channel called The Chronicles of L.J. Stevens, and I might read that story. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Zach Kuntz. Hiya, Dave. Looking good, my guy. You're Alpha Russ. He was a love baby. One of us. Oh. Thank you, Alpha. So, yeah, it's still on Amazon. You can, Chronicles of L.J. Stevens. So, I love that book. I don't give a fuck. I love that book to this day. But it was the thing that got me going. So Tommy and I were talking about that. Tommy and I played poker together from like 2008 on. We played poker for years together. He came to my house. I had a poker room and all this type of stuff. He knew me in the early days of the surgery stuff before I had the bad one, before it left me bedridden. Fuck. Jesus. Yeah, that was good times. So he was like talking hockey. He was trying to get me into hockey, and I hated football at the time. And he was like, you should do a hockey show with me. I'm going to do this hockey podcast. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I want a podcast because I want to go back to doing. I want a radio is what I wanted to do. I want to do a radio show. That's where it's at. And he was like, and Tommy was all about doing like the radio shock jock stuff. I was more of like the morning show guy. I wanted to do like a morning show or a late show. That's my passion. It was always what I wanted to do. So eventually that was what I was going to do. But Tommy was doing this, and I was like, okay, that's a really good idea. Let's go ahead and do it. And so I create my own stuff at the exact same time, and we create Shot from the Point. And we have an incredible fucking time. The rest is all history. Bloody, bloody blue. But in 2012, 2013, that's what got me to the table. That's what gets me into podcasting, into YouTubing. I was on Podbean, Podomatic. I was on anything that I could be on to stream. I was paying for space on these websites. I was even paying for SoundCloud space, whatever I could to get this shit done, to get this stuff out, to just talk, And in Germany, I had terrible internet. I couldn't do video. It took a long time for me to be able to do low resolution stuff. I mean, it was always a struggle. You go back to my Keemstar interview. Look how bad the first 10 minutes are. The quality. I mean, like my computer was crashing. It was miserable. Miserable those early days. My God. So, Christina Vina says, that's why I like listening to you. Sound like radio. Yeah, I think that's what I am. I'm a trapped radio host out of time and out of show. I don't have a show. I have this show. So I have a show, but I don't have a radio show. But that's what I always wanted to do. And then, we have our own thing. I actually had a lot of different YouTube lives. And one of my the show that I had done consistently for years, and I finally did stop it, was Nerd and the Jerk. And I had this wonderful co-host. His name, this was all the soul-crushing radio boys, but my man Jim, my man Tremonti, a big banger, baller, soul-crushing radio, baby. Yeah. Those guys were huge for me. They actually probably don't even realize it, but they taught me how to be an actual entertainer on the platform. Those guys were so naturally gifted and funny. If you ever want to laugh, go try to find those old soul-crushing radio episodes. Or go try to find the old Nerd and the Jerk episodes with Jim as the co-host, the original Jerk. There was a lot of really good stuff. What's up, Cuck? Good to see you. Toxic Dome, all those good people. Giggles, Teaching Turtles. Say hi to everybody. What's up? Show the back so we can see the hair. You can suck my hair. So, I totally lost my place. Yeah, no, like the shit, I did. I totally lost my place. Oh yes, those Nerd and the Jerk days were so much fun, and we progressed forward. Found the next thing after that, which was coming to YouTube. I actually didn't come to YouTube myself until 2014. Yeah, I was on Tommy's show on YouTube, but I didn't create my own channel until 2014. So next year, we've already celebrated the decade of Davidence on the internet. But next year, 2014, is actually my YouTube decade birthday. We will, and with the success of the channel lately and getting back over 10,000 subs rather, and approaching, 10,100 subs, and on our way to 11,000 and all that good stuff. It's just cool. So, all right, Zero Core, Dead on Dave. Hello, everyone. Yeah. So it's neat to be around this long. I can't believe I've been around this long. I never thought I'd be around this long. I knew that I'd always be talking somewhere, but I hated YouTube. I didn't like the idea of it. I didn't think it made a lot of sense. I didn't think I fit. But I came upon this wrestling channel, Joe Cronin Show, and he made me his new co-host. He lost his co-host. Tommy recommended me. Joe and I had actually known each other. We had talked a little bit. I was going to get him on a couple of years before, but it just never came to fruition. But Joe reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be the co-host after I made my debut on a SummerSlam event that Tommy and one of Joe's co-hosts at the time, Jesse J, were doing. They actually had a lot of hard times on that show, and I came in and just kind of stabilized some stuff, and we had an amazing rest of the night. Joe offers me the new co-hosting job. Within 5 minutes of being on, I say copious. Next week, everyone starts hashtag copiousing. The copious king is then born. That's how it happened. That's how the character of Dead on Dave really became King Copious. Tommy actually coined the name Dead on Dave. He has to get credit for it, because even though I had been called Dead on Dave in the past, this is true because I'm always right, goddammit, never forget it. In the military, even people called me that. But Tommy's the first guy who recommended it to be on YouTube as my name, so he has to get credit for that, and he does. So that's where the name came from, and it's stuck. Yeah, it's just the hashtag copious, and then I'm just a catchphrase machine. Don't have talent, have talented friends, and all that hoopla. So unfortunately, the Cronin situation didn't end well. And the Cronin wars did erupt. The first of many wars. And then, we had all the other things that happened. We had those wonderful situations, with Tommy getting baited, which allows me to eventually get Catch 33, and work with people like Clown, Colossal is crazy, Lord Vega, meet people like Captain Kirsch, RealTalk to Metaphor Messiah, talk to in DMs with legends like Dolan Dark, meet Willie Mack, talk to Keemstar, interview people like Mumkey Jones, Leon Lush, Elvis the Alien, fucking Chubbs, I mean Billy the Fridge, Young Crip. We've interviewed and done Zoe Berger. We've Arya Nina, the e-girl who took down Shay Carl. We really have done everything. I've done shows. I started as fucking YouTube wrestling. That's why I deal with the drama so different than so many of my contemporaries here. And Tommy does too. But even Tommy and I are different in how we deal with things. See, I think most trolls here in the YouTube space are potsers. I think they're posers. They're hacks. They don't know what they're doing. They just say things that make them go, ha. See, I come from wrestling community. And if you've ever watched a late night wrestling show, a review show in particular, you know what type of toxic shit goes down. And that's what I was baptized in, okay? The shit that's been said to me live on air, I can't repeat. I'd get canceled. But let me tell you, it allows me to be able to deal with people trolling and trying to get your attention the way they do now, because when you've been through some of the shit that people have done to me in the past, the DDoSing, the N-word raids, all the crazy shit that I've dealt with back in the day of 2017, of 2016, with not tens of people, but hundreds of people. Hundreds. And I dealt with them. Took away their power, goddammit, because that's how you do it. Converted many of them into fans. Well, this community is different because we turned haters and people who like to fuck with me into some of the most trusted folk in the community. Fake ass twats started by fucking photoshopping dicks onto my face. Now this kid is celebrating his something birthday, the other day, and he's getting personalized love messages from the Copious King himself because he's one of my best friends. This community in this world is fucking awesome. We've made so many friends. We've done so many things. We've just really, it's been a cool whole situation. Willie's how I found her, says Christina Vina. Very grateful to that. Willie and I have known each other a really long time. Yeah, I've known Willie since like 2016. On and off, 2016, 2017. It's crazy how long I've known Willie. He needs to come back. Willie Mac Wednesday. I appreciate your more funny old radio style deliveries. It makes things more fun. Fucking ain't right. Yeah. I give fake ass twat some love. My gay internet child. He is my internet son, is what he is. So yeah, I mean, like, that's pretty much the story. I don't know. You guys have questions? Go ahead and fill them up. We've been live a while already. I'm not saying I'm going to get off. In fact, if I do end up wrapping it up at a point here soon, I'm probably going to go game over on Twitch. So, because I ain't got nothing else to do right now. Cheryl, hit me with your questions. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to ask about that situation, anything else that you've seen. I'm down to talk about whatever. We have the Discord open as well, live commentary. Go to Priority Waiting to Call if you're a subscriber. If you're not, go into Waiting to Call. We'll take your calls, questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, and whatever else you might have. I'm probably going to pop through a couple of things, see if there's any other stories I want to talk about, and then we're going to pop smoke and get out of here. But I think I pretty much got all the questions that people had. I'm trying to see. Shane. Let's see. I don't see. I don't see no more. I think we got them all. I think we got. Wait. Jaded take a genie. A genie gives you 3 wishes. What are they? A bigger dick, more money, and a night with your mom. 0 core. I will be 100% honest. If not for Riveter, I would have never have known who you are, Dead on Dave. I mean, no offense. No, man, I can't take offense to that. In fact, all I can do is show gratitude to my buddy Riveter for giving me the avenue to you and entrapping your mind. Yeah. No, I don't mind it at all. There's not. What offense is there to take? You found me eventually. Hey. What? Uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Awesome story and show. Hail to the Copious King.
Oh, effing boy with the $50. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Bo Black's Radio on Twitch. You were playing Fall Guys. Easiest follow in history. Thank you, Squanch. I appreciate that. So your internet kid and in real life kid, if I'm remembering right, are both gay. At least you know you're supportive. Yes. My daughter came out. She's awesome. Just turned 18, May 20. That's my fucking birthday, April 15th. She just turned 18. She's got 18 left to good. I'm too high to call in, says Christina Vina. That's awesome. Cuck, you're terrible. Yes, I am. All right. Oh, Everborn. Well, excuse the fuck out of me. Put the lotion in the basket. I'm sorry, sir. I did not mean to get your name wrong. EverQuest. Hey, Dave, how is your pain levels these days? Ah! No! It's broken. Oh, it's not broken. But it is dead. No! Well, this upsets me. This upsets the balls off of me. Let's see if I can even get a little bit of charge off that. I'm gonna have. I sucked on that thing like something was gonna happen. I feel like an asshole. I feel like an absolute asshole. Come on. Uh-oh. No. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. I think this thing is broken. I think that it is true. I think I broke my fucking vape and now I'm mad at you. It's bad. All right, I'm charging it. But the light's not coming on. That's a bad sign. The light should come on. I don't know anything about lights. But they should come on. Because it ceases to be a light if it doesn't come on. Breakfast and beer, if you were able to go back to Germany, would we get another episode? Squanchin', if I'm being honest with you, outside of Nerd and the Jerk, Breakfast and Beer is my favorite show I've ever done. Tommy and I had a real chance to make a lot of money with that show. I really believe that. Tommy and I, that could have been our big one. Because you think about like Cold Ones now. What was all that different? You know what I mean? Like, Tommy and I could have easily evolved into that interview because we were already doing interviews. But our show was so good because we were on location and the crazy shit that would happen. It was no bueno. I mean, it was just, yes. I wish we would have found a way to continue to do it through all the space, the distance. Honestly, it might be a show that I bring back. Because Tommy always said that I can continue to do that show. We still have the channel and all that. Do you have the dab attachment for your Lucas Seahorse? Yes, somewhere. Somehow. Some way. I don't think this is charging. It doesn't look like it's working, boys. I don't think that thing fucking works. I think I'm being hornswoggled. So we're just going to take a regular bong rip here and call it good. God damn it, man. It's definitely not charging. I'm going to have to go find the cable. Not the bueno. Not the bong. So, but that's all right. That's why God made regular old-fashioned weed. I'm just mad that I was sucking on that thing like something was coming out of it, you know? No go. Ooh. Ooh, child. Yeah, so we'll take any other questions that you guys have. Questions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff. I like the crazy German surprise guest on that one B&B. That was good. Just random people come and talk. Oh, it's good times. It doesn't look like it's charging, Christina Vina. It's not a good thing. I'm very disappointed. I'm upset. I think this is going to be the last rip, and then we're going to go over to Twitch. Yeah? You guys want to come over to Twitch and play? Because I want to do a little boxing. That's what I think I want to do. I want to fight your face. Are we ready? You guys want another pack of cards? Do you still play Pokemon Go? I don't, actually. I stopped playing a long time ago. But Pokemon Go was a very big reason why I lost the weight. Huge reason. It was that first real big thing that got me moving. Got me off that couch. Got me out of that bed. Got me out of that house. Because it was so hard for me to sustain walking because of how much pain I was in. But as soon as I had a reason, I would just follow these little motherfuckers everywhere, and I just loved it so much. But no, I just have no reason to play it anymore. I have no time. No. Mucho unfortunate, but tis what it is. Fair, it's an old game. It's still a great game, and I love it. It was great for walks. I just, even when I walk, I need both hands. I was on a cane for years. So I went from bedridden to wheelchair to walker to cane. And I just got off the cane about 9 months ago. My first few months at Pawn Nation, I had it, but I didn't really have any ability to use it just because of the location, all the stuff that was in the shop. It just made it very difficult to wield the cane at all. So, and the bigger thing is my shoulder is ruined. After all the years of using the cane, my shoulder is just destroyed. I was 500 pounds on that thing, and it's just done, So the next thing that's up, if you guys want to know where I'm at my max, I was about 525 pounds. Right now, I'm 215. My birthday is May 21st. I'm turning 40, and my goal is to get under 200 pounds by my birthday. I should get there. We'll see. I'm not going to have any snacks in the house tomorrow for 420, although I don't have too much stuff to smoke with. I'm kind of dry this. I'm waiting on some monies to come in, so I'm a little bit dry on fucking weed. So I'm not going to be able to do anything too ignorant for 420. But I do got a little bit of bud, and I think that's all I really need. I should be fine. So we'll be doing plenty of smoking tomorrow during the 420 Nicholas Diorio Spectacular is what I'll call tomorrow's show. What advice do you have for weight loss? Very simple, my friend. Consistency. Everybody focuses so much on what they have to do to lose weight. Everybody is focusing on Dankrupt. I like that, Squanch, and Dankrupt. I'm a little Dankrupt. I am. And now I think my fucking vape is broken on top of it. My Luca. I don't like it. But, what was I saying? What was I saying before I fired? Oh, weight loss. So, you got to focus on what you can do, on what you can accomplish, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. And that's the thing. Most people can't do that because it's like you get in your head. After a week, you do whatever you can, right? You try to walk a mile. You try to walk whatever. You do whatever you can. But in your head, it's like, man, I'm never going to lose this weight. Maybe you're not getting there on the food yet, and you're not finding yourself having any success. You get frustrated, and people give up. I went the opposite route. I looked forward to being able to walk to the end of the block. Everything was a victory because I had to start over. I hadn't walked. I hadn't moved. My muscles were atrophied. Everything was a new adventure for me, being able to get out of the bed. So I was a little bit of a different mindset. But if you can capture that and just know that by doing anything, by taking any sort of semblance of a walk, by doing any of those things, that you are absolutely heading towards your goal, even slowly, you're going to get there. So the easy answer is walk more, eat less. That's what worked for me. I cannot work out. I can't lift more than 10 pounds. I can't run, even though I'm going to try. I haven't talked about this yet, but I think I'm going to try to take a jog. A small, light jog, but a jog. Mater Motley, look, I understand the depression and lack of motivation. I get it. I've been there. and still being in pain on an everyday basis. It's hard. I have my own therapist. Everybody struggles, but it's like you have to use that as a weapon. You got to find a way, if you can, to wield that sword, because that is a weapon. That thought, those limitations, those doubts, that's a weapon that gets used against you. But if you can learn how to wield that weapon and turn it and use that same logic for new rules of what you can do and finding what you can do in that confinement, because I couldn't get out of the bed, right? So it's like, what's the first thing that I can do? Walk to the end of the hallway. Doing that once a day, one extra trip. I started doing it and having a channel, having a show, that helped me, because I would throw that out there and I would get people knowing. But I also had another bit of motivation as well. My daughter, she was getting old enough to notice, her at 8 years old, seeing me at 500 pounds, not being able to move and all that. That was not the way I wanted her to remember me. I knew that she was seeing things that was going to mess her up. It was starting to affect her, and I had no right to do so. I had no right to put my issues before my daughter. Even if they were medical, even if they weren't my fault, it wasn't fair. She didn't ask for that shit, and that was my motivation. I'm not burdening my child. I'm not going to burden anybody. Even if I have to suffer, I'm not going to burden people. I'm going to make sure that I do whatever I'm able to do. And whatever that means, it means. I can't do everything every day. My body shuts down on me. It doesn't like to let me do a lot of things, even certain motions. Some days I got to rely on my right arm more than I do on my left arm. And that can be very discouraging, can be very disheartening. But when my right arm doesn't work, I'm like, well, at least I can use my left arm today. And when my left arm doesn't work, I go, well, at least I got my right arm back today. And these little things are so stupid and they can get cliched, but they work. I'm like, man, I am excited about my right arm. Fuck, man. Look, oh, man, my left arm's working. I can masturbate with it today. Yay. All these wonderful things. So, learning how to do that, to use it, to be limited, but still active, still able to do like anything. And for me, the food part became way more fucking important than anything else I was doing, at least at the beginning. Because when you can't move, you can at least reduce the food. Anybody can do that. You can reduce your food or you can change what you eat. This is where the mental game comes in. This is where you have to have some sort of strength. You've got to find it. And not finding it is not an excuse, because you've got to find a way to not eat what you were eating. And I say that as a guy who was eating 2 loaves of bread a day. I was eating Perchin, German rolls. I was eating loaves of bread. I was eating so many sandwiches, mayonnaise and cheese and ham and turkey and fucking bacon, anything I can get on these motherfuckers. Spaghetti, whatever I'd eat on a fucking sandwich. I had to stop doing that. And for me, that was enough. That is enough for me. Knowing that that is all I have to do, because I was military, I can do that. At least in the small amount. Even at least in the micro. I know I can get through a day. So I challenge myself to get through the day. And then I challenge myself to get through 3 days. And then I challenge myself to get through a week. Carbs, nothing's the devil. So here's the thing. This is what I ultimately found out. Once you get the food stuff under control, like you don't have to do a lot of exertion at the beginning. Like, any exertion is good. If you just flail your arms a little bit more than you typically do, you're going to do enough to start noticing some difference if you change your diet, okay? But you're going to plateau relatively quickly because if you're that big, and I remember I'm speaking from a guy who was 500 plus pounds, so it's like we lose weight differently. You know, it's just like you plateau, you go back, you go down, and I chose not to go surgical. You know, I did it all natural. I just decided I'm just going to go for it. I'm hard-headed. I'm stupid. But, you know, it's just what worked for me. It's just, it's a different route. So eventually, when you're able to be active, and I never thought I was going to be able to move again. I have today taken 15,391 steps. And I would consider this a light day for me. Light. But when you walk that many steps, you don't got to do much else. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how many steps that is. That's 7.2 miles. I walked 7.2 miles. It's crazy. That's what I do. And then I found food that I like to lose weight 10 pounds at a time. And then assess and then let my body feel how it feels to be that weight and operate at that new weight. And then I move down. And that's how I've been doing it, and it's how it's continued. I let my body do that. So I've gotten a 215 from this point. Danny girl, what's up? That's an old head right there. How you doing, baby? I cut out flour and try to eat 80 to 100 grams of protein. You know, for a while I was doing the counting of proteins. I was doing all that. I stopped. I don't mean to judge or chastise or tell anybody how to do it. I find it unnecessary. You know, if you just are honest with yourself, and that's hard for me to do at times, but when you're honest with yourself and you know what you're eating and you really do address what you're eating and drinking, all that really becomes unnecessary, you know, because you can just, your body knows, your mind knows. You don't want to admit it. You don't want to acknowledge it. You don't want to fucking be like, man, you don't want to play by the rules that your body and mind are setting for you. But we know what we should eat. You know, we know what makes us feel better. And if you haven't experimented with food, I highly suggest you do so. You know, maybe some of you guys are young enough to where you didn't have this, but you know, I'm old enough to where I really had a wide variety of foods pushed on me as a child. And I would remember things. I would remember how, you know, everyone remembers the obvious with sugar rushes, but you act so differently on different fucking food. You know, honestly, you feel so differently powered by what you put in your body because that's essentially what your body is. It's a power plant. It converts some parts of different types of energy into different types of energy. It takes sunlight and turns it into fucking energy for skin growth and fucking cancer and all that. No, not that. Well, that too, but not that supposed to that. All the other good stuff, vitamin D. You know, it takes food and water and converts it into energy to power your body and keep your brain alive. It's your body's a fucking power plant. And like with any power plant, think about a steam engine. You know, if that even coal, different quality of coal you put in there, burns differently, burns more efficiently. There's ways to burn up things more efficiently. And that's what you got to figure out. And everybody is different. You know, Jeff Huffman was a very big tool for me. Jeff helped me out. You know, I never used First Form like I probably should have. I've never used the tracking stuff as much as I should because it is so good. It's the best I've seen out there. If you want some extra help from a really good trainer, go find Jeff. I don't know if he still has the personal links, but if not, I know he can get you into contact with people that can help. First Form is a fantastic tool. If you want to go the new age way of tracking everything and all that, I'd highly recommend you guys trying it because I didn't need to keep doing it because I took the tools that I needed from that and brought it into my routine. And that's what I do. I just borrow stuff and fix myself that way. I borrow this tool, I borrow that tool, Then I borrow this tool and I shove it up my ass, and that's what I do. Pretty idiot. My family's food habits actually got worse as I got older. Luckily, we're having to switch away from those habits now, much less fried chicken and pizza. Yeah. You know, like, here's another reality. Okay, here's another great way. Here. If you want to lose weight, I want you to take whatever you're eating right now, put it in your mouth, chew it up. Chew it, taste it. Let it get in your mouth. Let it permeate. Really taste it. Experience this bite of food, okay? And then I want you to be honest and tell me out loud right now if it tasted good. Go ahead. Tell me. Come on. Be honest. It's all right. I'm listening. It did. It tasted good. Spit it out. Spit it out. Spit it out. No. Spit it out. Now take another bite of something. Okay? Now, does this bite of food make you feel full of sorrow and sadness and misery and ultimately hate? Does the food you're eating make you want to punch a baby in the face or fight a nun? If the answer to that question is yes, swallow it. Swallow it. It's what you should be eating. Because dieting is fueled by hatred. Hatred of yourself, hatred of others for making fun of you or making you feel insecure about yourself. It's ultimately hatred. Hatred for your parents for giving you bad genes. Hatred for all of your teachers who have failed you. Hatred for the government for allowing you to be fat. Hatred for the government for not providing better health care. Hatred of the government just because you don't want to take responsibility for your actions. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Tacos don't, but I'm eating a taco. You can lose weight and eat Taco Bell. I just had to work a little harder today. That's all. You say this, I'm eating a huge bowl of spaghetti. Shut up, skinny mini. You know, Danny, you are always a little snack. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that. Pretty idiot. I was just too easy to order out instead of cooking where we used to live. Now it's the complete opposite. That's all you got to do. The more you choose something, the worse it tastes when it's junk food. Shut up, Christina. Mac and cheese. Spit it out. Squanching. The last thing I had was roasted potatoes. That was super. Spit it out. Only if you make me spit it out. I'll fight a nun. There you go. Fight a nun. I still hate the fact that McDonald's is cheaper than a trip to the grocery store. You know, there are ways to get around that. There are smart shopping things, but I'm not going to lecture everybody. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that kind of guy. All right. So I think it's time to get out of here. Did 2 hours tonight. Had a fun show. Do another pack of cards. So I think I might not be done. I might go to Twitch and do a little boxing. If you guys want to come play with me. Oh, there's nothing here. But I will show you the new card trick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like this. So this puts the reverse and then the rare right there. Boom. We out. It's that easy. There was nothing in that pack. Hey, Dave, if you were to do YouTube boxing, which guy would you love to punch in the face? At 215 pounds right now, I there's a lot of people I could fight. I could actually do that. I'd fight Keem. He's my age. I think we're around the same weight now. I think I could kick the fucking shit out of him personally. I think I'm just tougher than him. I know I've trained. Well, I haven't. Here's the thing. I got to be careful because I know that I probably can't take a punch in my physical condition. So I got to be very careful. But if I could train, if I could get cleared, which I would never be able to get cleared, Let me make that very clear. I am just shit talking for shit talking's sake, because I would never be able to get cleared from a fucking doctor. Not a chance. Then again, Boogie's got cancer and he got cleared. So I don't know. It's a crazy world we're living in, where Boogie can't fight when he's got cancer in his skin. Oh, I think you could take it. Oh, I know I could take it. If I had 6 months to train, I think I could actually put up a good fight against a lot of people. But I don't know who I'd want to fight. Like I don't care about anybody to punch him. You know what I mean? It's like I don't have that in me anymore. I'd fight for money. I'd prize fight for anything. Yeah, Boogie's got skin cancer. Yeah. Fight someone in a wheelchair. Yeah, I'd do that. Because I am technically a cripple still, could I fight a cripple and would that be fair? Because I would love to fight young Crip or Ricky Berwick. I would love to fight either one of them. That's an easy W. Or any of the other handicaps, the other handy-capable. I'd fight any of those. I would love Sam Hyde to train me. I'd fight... is it blood cancer? I thought it was skin cancer. Sorry. I'm hoping Sam Hyde gets to train Rich. He should train me. And didn't he already... Isn't it all fixed? I'm like, didn't he fix the cancer? Isn't it good now or something? I don't know. I haven't heard that part. But I couldn't remember. Pushes guy into a fist. Push guy into Dave's fist. Come at me, bro. We're going to do another pack real quick. I got to keep these last two Scarlet and Violet packs to do a video. 1, 2, 3. No, it's just one card to the front. Matt. Oh, I'd fight Matt. Yeah. I'd fight Matt. Yeah, I'd kick the shit out of Matt. That would be easy. Tommy won't fight me. I'd beat up Tommy. Tommy's would have to lose so much weight. But I'd beat up Tommy. I don't know. Who would you guys want to see me fight? I'm open to taking I would have fought Billy the Fridge, but he gained the weight back. He's losing it again, but I would have fought Billy the Fridge. But Billy's big. He's actually tall and large. I don't want to fight anybody who's in shape. Fuck that. Oh. I saw something good. I hate Logan Paul for what he did to Pokemon card prices. Hey, I just sold a $600 card today. I mean, for the shop, but still. Oh, look at that, Ryalu. Cool. 1-star rarity in the secret rare set. That's awesome. And Professor's Research. All right. I think we all know I'm opening the rest of these cards. You know it. I know it. God knows it. Billy seems super nice. I feel bad for hitting him. Oh, no, I'd hit anybody. Well, you pay me. I'll fight you. Danny, I love you like a fucking play cousin. You know, like a second play cousin, you know? Type of play cousin that you can experiment with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I have to sell my MTG cards and hope Warcraft cards are worth something. They are not. Nothing. Professor Research. I'd punch you for free. You would. How dare you say something like that to me, Danny? How dare you? Children watch this show. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that shit. Huh? Are you happy with your poop mouth? Are you? Are you? I'm opening up the rest of these. 1, 2, 3, and no, just one. I'm a bit behind on Pokemon cards. Last cards I got from Black and White when it first got introduced. Oh, yeah, we're far ahead. 1. Yeah. I don't know, Christina Vina. Shut up. That's bad parenting. Hey. Shut up. I know we're all immature, but we're not children. Shut up. The last Pokemon card pack I purchased was from the jungle. Nice. So you get 3 hollows now. The last 3 cards are reverse hollow, and a hollow. Now, the first card here is almost always going to be this, a nice reverse. Now, the next card, if you got a really good pack, the next card should be a pull. But if it's just a reverse hollow, it's not a super good pack. Let's see what we got. It's not a super good pack. It's just another reverse hollow. So if there's nothing, there's nothing. But there still could be something. Nothing. But you get a guaranteed hollow. I got 1 pack left. Let's see. Can we go out on a bang, or is this going to suck? 1, 2, 3. No, it's just 1. Let's see. Thank you guys for the support tonight. Thank you for all the love. And can you feel Dave's love tonight? Let's go. Let's do it. And do it. And do it. And do it. Do it. Do it. Nothing. Last card. Ready, set, shaboinkle. Fuck. Nothing. Son of a bitch. We got nothing. That's all my cards. Terrible pull rates. All right, well, that's going to do it. Let's get out of here. Did I grind any more? Oh, party foul. I just party fouled because I was, in fact, grinding more ganja. What a terrible idea. John Von Zombie, love you, Dave. That's my son's middle name. Strong, proud middle name your son's got. I can play that song on the flute, skin flute. Guess I bring bad luck. That's right, Danny. That's right, Danny. At least I didn't waste those cards on a YouTube short. So, because those would have been boring. But I like the idea of blaming Danny. All right, we're going to go ahead and get to the outro. Then we're going to come back and do one more rip. Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah. Take us home. Take us out. Appreciate everybody's love. We'll see you next time. I might still go over to the Twitch. We'll see what happens. Real Talk. Take us home. Thank you, everybody.
I sit back and blaze away like I'm Hakeem Olajuwon. But I guess that's what I need in life, cause I don't get no sleep at night. So I'ma just keep grinding till my people see the morning light. Feel like I'm Alexander's prodigy. Fuck your death threats, them niggas always talking honorary. The Pentagon the same, they trying to mold us in the pottery. But even if I die, my lyrics still a living history. You mean they treat us like we pawns and we listen cause we scared they ain't gon' beef with Genghis Khan? I'm higher than a dinosaur, she Oreo like Baltimore. I taught them what I know, that make me feel like I was Gryffindor. Get your game right, she hot, I call her sunlight. With lips like she's Brad's wife, I ask her cause a crash site. But that's the way it is, I guess I play protagonist. This shit will never change, I'ma go out with her. This may be everything I'm dreaming. I wake up, my superstition say the government was scheming. Here we go. This must be everything I'm dreaming. I wake up, my superstition say the government been scheming. Here we go. I roll up, they say the city lights is feeling me. My girl, she super real. She think that ain't nobody cool as me. Flying them Pacifics, I'll be ripping till I'm gone. I sit back and blaze away like I'm Hakeem Olajuwon. Yeah, da-da-da. Yeah, da-da-da. Hip-hop, I'm real talk. Hip-hop, I'm real talk. Da-da-da.
Good luck, Jay Philly.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new world. You dig?
We do dig each and every single day. We miss you, Real Talk. Thank you guys for a fun show tonight. That was a fun one. Different, you know? Didn't draw huge numbers. I didn't think we would. You know, we threw out some interesting... It was just me tonight. You know, we're just going to see what we can talk about, what we can get up to. I appreciate everybody who did show up. I hope you had a good time. I know there were people who really wanted to hear the whole story. I think you pretty much got it. I think I gave you everything for the most part. If you have any more questions, we can always do a part 2. But until then, parlez-vous français? Ich bin ein Berliner. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Telemundo. Das Vidanya, bitches.